Hey guys, it's Mitch. How's it going? We're back for more of Blood Force issue 4, and this is the big one. This is the double page splash, 4 pages. I want to say 12 and 13, probably, assuming that I don't shuffle them around somewhere in the issue. But yeah, we're going to take a look at the big double page splash. So just before we get into it, if you enjoyed the channel, if you feel like you might want to help out a bit, go over and subscribe on my Patreon. Links are in the description. So yeah, I've done a double page splash in most of the issues so far. The only one I didn't was issue 2. That one only actually had like one splash page in the entire thing for some reason. But yeah, issue 1 had a few splashes, and the one that was like a double page composition anyway, right? And issue 3 had the big double page splash with what is it, Fireburn, Shock Block, and Hard all trying to take down Cyberzerk. This one is by far the most ambitious of the splashes I've tried. And I've got another one coming up at the end of the issue, which I'm not looking forward to because it's going to be difficult. That's going to take a fair bit of planning. But yeah, this is the one with, let's see, Hard and Fireburn and Shock Block coming to the rescue of Hawkstab here. You can see that it took a few tries to find the right pose. Well, poses for Hard and Hawkstab anyway. Shock Block and Fireburn I was able to do pretty much right off the bat here. And this is, I mean, it's not quite a full splash, or double splash anyway, because we've got these panels here on the side, but it all kind of contributes together, I think. And yeah, this is probably the image I'm happiest with so far, or at least, you know, the one that was the most difficult to pull off, I think. Like I think I said already, the most ambitious. And so we start off with Hawkstab versus Gunshow, with Gunshow firing his flex lasers, or whatever, what is it? Flex fire, I think it is. And then we get him yelling at Hawkstab, and then the ground opening up beneath them. So starting off with the lettering here, which is good, because if I'd waited until later, I would have forgotten, as I did with like every page after this. And yeah, we're going to go with an easy panel to start with, the uplit Gunshow shot here. Which is one of the, I don't know, this is a fun face. And did it mostly with the brush pen too, eh? I guess that's alright. Oh, here we go with the microns, that's alright. And every time I do a shot like this now, I think back to that Hawkstab version of the McFarlane Wolverine cover. And it's like, because I wasn't 100% happy with how that turned out. You know, it's okay. But it's okay. We got to try and harken back to that and one-up it a little bit. And get some Dale Keown spit going through there, too. And, okay, so here's Hawkstop. Hawkstop? Sure. Hawkstab's leg, just, you know, the rumbling as the cavalry's about to show up. And I'm pretty happy that I came up with a pretty good way to do like the back of a leg a little while back. I think that's looking all right. This pose here was, I think, largely inspired by a shot from the Rick Leonardi Uncanny X-Men issue in the Genosha storyline. I think that, I want to say that was chapter 3. No, it would have been chapter 1. Anyway, but yeah, I didn't look at it, so it's not a fully referenced shot, but it's kind of similar. In terms of the flexibility of it. And yeah, no, kind of a pretty nice figure there, actually. Decent shading, too. So anyway, yeah, that's all the easy stuff. After this is when you get to try and do the gigantic image. And I try to like stretch Hawkstab out to the limit. It's going to be pretty good. I think that's about done. Did I remember to put in the details on the suit? I don't think I did. I don't think I gave him like his belt or the circle thing up on the chest thing or anything. That's okay. For that shot, it's not as necessary because it's getting washed out by the blast. This one here, you want to get, you know, more of the details at least, but really the most important thing is to get this ridiculous shot of Hawkstab in the front as right as I can. So yeah, just trying to stretch him out as much as possible. Turned out to be a very similar pose, actually, to the one that was in Blood Force number 1, just from a completely different angle. Much tougher angle, I gotta say. So, I mean, it's constantly pushing. All right, and then I think we started on the arm here first. Yeah, got to work out the shadows a fair bit first. And I like how these shadows turned out. I'm always trying to come up with something that looks somewhat imagey, and like sometimes I'm successful, sometimes I'm not. It's something to do with alternating the shadows and the cross hatching, which I don't have 100% down yet, but I do like the way this one turned out. Yeah, see, that looks pretty good. And the idea here is that Hard is mostly backlit by Fireburn. You can see Fireburn up in the top right corner, and he's like bursting out and just and he's got like a Human Torch flying kind of thing going on. So he's just casting light on everybody. So that was a fun way to shadow everything. And I had difficulty figuring out where this head was supposed to go. I think I pretty much decided that it should actually probably be hidden behind his arm. And then, yeah, but that's no fun. So we're gonna have to figure something out and just like kind of fake it a little bit. Like this is actually leaning forward a bit too much. But if I hide the head behind the arm, then that's no good whatsoever. So him being kind of out of proportion makes it work better. And I purposely left off the giant shoulder pads on Hard here. I think I just decided, okay, well, maybe he's just like, they're not out on mission, so he wasn't 100% ready to go when they got the call. So, yeah, he just forgot to put him on this time. And I've at least been consistent with that throughout this fight, in that Hard hasn't been wearing the shoulder pads throughout the whole thing. Here we've got Fireburn bursting out of the hole. And yeah, like fairly cool pose, I think. But it's more about the lighting, trying to make sure that ends up looking all right. And I think that for the most part it does really. And every time I draw Fireburn, it's like I gotta try and remember how to do it. Where like I could look at a reference, but like it's always, I don't know, I draw Fireburn so rarely, and he has a slightly more elaborate costume than I usually remember. I do like this pose from Shock Block here. It's like super dynamic. It's a little bit Liefeldy, I suppose. I think he's done this kind of thing every once in a while. But yeah, you get the impression of him being just propelled up and then just like hovering for a second before falling back down, right? Kind of bendy. Good shoulder there too. Kind of shoulder I'd like to remember how I did that, and I probably won't. Oh well. And yeah, the background has been kind of devolving throughout this entire sequence. So now it's like they're just like in a busted cave somewhere, instead of an underground lobby, which is where I'm pretty sure they're supposed to be. Assuming I stick with the underground thing, I may be switching that up a little bit at some point. And yeah, trying to come up with shadows that work against Fireburn here. And yeah, that looks all right. Trying not to black out too much of them, because I want to be able to get that crazy hatching in there always. It's funny. I've been working on the Sin City style cover with the high contrast kind of minimalist look, and it's like I love that so much. But you always got to get back to the high the extreme cross hatching look. I was saying this to my buddy the other day. Like I grew up on Gimli and then moved on to Gerhard. Like it's not going to go any other way really at the end of the day. But yeah, I like this shot. Okay, that hand's a little wonky, but fairly decent. Now we get to try and work on Hawkstab, which is, I can kind of see why I left it till last. Because, like, man, this is a tough shot to make it look good. I got to get right up in there, too. You can see my head keep popping in. It's like, oh, is it good? I don't know. Get right up close and look. I think that the mouth needs to be changed a little bit, but I'm not sure if I'm going to. So we'll find out, I suppose. Decent looking hair for once. Doesn't happen too often. And these obliques are always tough, the ribs, all that stuff. I feel like I'm making it up every single time. That hand, the angle isn't quite right. We should be seeing a bit more of the top of the hand. But I don't think it actually matters by the time you get to the end of it. I think a bit more blacking in on the torso here as well. Yeah. No, that's all looking fairly good, really. Come on, do a little bit of the top of the hand. I dare you. No, not, oh well. So he's kind of tilting his hand back, and that weakens that a little bit. But I don't think it's too noticeable, so I don't think it matters. And yeah, freehanding the blades here with the brush pen too. That is brave, but it works. I needed them to be like thick and really stand out. And I don't know, the freehanding worked a whole lot better than trying to find a template that would fit that. Like it's too big of an image. So I went fuck it and gave it a shot, and it ended up looking like really good. So legs here, they're fine. Again, they're not any kind of focus in this at all, but they just need to be like really widely spaced apart. Yeah, that's a better idea, just to heavily shadow it. And I'm not sure, yeah, none of these muscles really exist too much, I don't think. Now doing a bit more darkening there. And that was a kind of upping the ante there. Doing the parallel lines for the blades, and then the Simonson shines down it. And it's like it didn't make it look any worse. If anything, it did make it look better. And it's like, well, shit. I think this page might be a success now. The only difficulty I've got is that a fair amount of the detail is going to get lost without color. Or at least you're going to have to really look to find out what's going on here in some spots, which is a bit of a shame. But like, I don't care that much because it does look kind of awesome. Trying to remember how to do the Fireburn Human Torch in trail, or at least how I've done it before. I don't know that this was necessary, all this black in the background here. It does mean we get a whole bunch of spotted blacks, which is nice. Yeah, I think it could have had more white in there, though, to show a bit more impact. I get, every once in a while, I get a little bit paranoid that there's not enough black on the page. And it's just like, okay, well, we got to do some black for an impact. And then, some hatching coming out of it. And it's like, well, you don't necessarily have to do exactly like that. And then whiting it out, all the black media here. Whiting in all the black media. I'm just not paying attention to what I'm saying at all. Yeah, there's all this stuff here was just like, I remember being like, I don't even know, rock textures. Something vaguely like rock textures. And then just put more cracks up, hatch over those, put more shit up, hatch over that, And yeah, I mean, like now we're just about done, which is fucking nuts. But yeah, so just need to finish off the leg here and the background, which is going to be next to nothing. I think the big Thuum ended up looking okay. I'm going to be adding to it a little bit, going around the border. But yeah, that's pretty much done. I think we got like another minute and a half left. Yeah, this thing took place over the course of like 4 live streams. So it was really like, okay, what part do you want to work on today? And then just going from there. So yeah, definitely, I'm pretty proud with how this thing turned out. Put a shit ton of work into it, and as a spread, this is, I think, the first spread I've been really happy with. The last one in issue 3, it's like, maybe not so much, but like that is more of a it was kind of a standard shot, and it's more of like an experiment. Like, okay, like how, I don't know, how would you go about doing a double splash in this situation? This is the first one where it feels like, yeah, no, it kind of earned it. Oh yeah, we need more veins. The amount of veins we had going on was not enough. More debris flying up. More veins up the arm. Come on, you know you want to. Oh, there's the outline on the thumb. There we go. That's more like it. And you got to do a bit more filling in around it. Yeah, that looks pretty great. All right, so that is the Blood Force number 4, page 12, page 13, double page splash. Pretty great as far as I'm concerned. Like I said, we've got another one coming up at the end of the issue that will probably be even less fun to draw, because that's the one with Popo walking away from a pile of dead Clerg bodies from and inside the Clerg ship. So there's going to have to be all sorts of grates and tech and crap lying around. And yeah, that might take me like a month or two to finish. I don't know. By the time we're done with it, I'll have caught up with all the speed art videos and the commentaries and all that. But anyway, this one at least turned out pretty great. I'm pretty happy with it. And you know, this whole issue has been pretty good for kind of ramping up the intensity and just kind of trying to level up what kind of pages I can produce. There have been a couple here and there that have been not quite as great, but for the most part, they've all been, it feels like breaking new ground at least a little bit. So anyway, that's going to do it for this one. Thanks very much for watching. If you like this video, please hit like, hit subscribe, hit the notification so you know when the next one's coming out. Go over and subscribe on my Patreon. It gives you early access to everything I do, from the Blood Force stuff to the YouTube videos before they get uploaded to YouTube, as well as some Patreon exclusive content. You can also follow me on Instagram and DM me there for commissions, and you can join the Blood Force Discord server. But yeah, that's going to do it. Thanks again for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.